supremacy over her faith. Yet, when a Muslim woman or a Muslim man dresses up what is quote-unquote considered as orthodox dressing, that is a challenge to a political movement. So it goes beyond prejudice. Prejudice might play into it, and they might try and make hay out of it. But if you go back to the philosophical ideas, the genesis of it is the political implementation and the message that is put forward by men with beard or women with arms. And that's why in France, which is really if you like, the beacon of enlightenment, or where fraternity and equality is divorced faith completely, there's such more opinions against this concept than in Britain or other parts of the world, where there still comes to faith within the secular system. And this fear of the West is real, and therefore there is a great work that requires to be done by political Islamists as to what their vision is, what their concept is vis-a-vis living with other people of other faiths, or no faith in particular. And this is a message that is required. So I don't know how much time I can raise it. Am I right? That's very good. So I think the responsibility on Islamists is trying to address some of the fears that the West is carrying. And what are the Islamists asking for? In which they want to create faith in the center of the political system, a system which is equitable, in which we try and control our needs personally with the needs of globally of other humanity and of nature itself. Because once we try to conquer nature or conquer other people, using the means or the ability that we have, we automatically undermine the other, whether it be nature, and therefore we create the havoc in the environment that we have been doing globally, all of us included, and the suppression and the oppression of other people above the others. The disparity in the global arena is phenomenal, and this disparity is not just against the Western world, geographical Western world, with the non-geographical Western world. The disparity within countries is incredible. If you look at the United States of America, which is one of the most advanced economic states of the world, it has the greatest disparity between the rich and the poor in the global arena, in the world today. It's incredible. I think the numbers might fail me. I think there's something like 30,000 millionaires in America. I could be wrong in the numbers, excuse me if I am. But they have double that number of people who don't have food on their plate when they go to bed in America. So the disparity within states is incredible. Forget between states. So this disparity that has been created by the Western concept, it has deprived humanity of equality in its true essence. Because man himself, when he's used reason, he's used it to benefit himself. It is, for Muslims, that is very easy to understand, but you have to make other people understand, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to feed your nafs. And to a Muslim, that message is very, very strong, because that becomes paramount. When you start behaving with reason, and you lose all the parameters of faith. That does not mean, also let me underline, that does not mean that bringing faith into politics is a panacea to solving all the problems of the globe. No. Problems will exist. It is the level of the problem and the ways to solve that problem will be different. And this is where we have to try and think about. And this is why political Islam and the Western concept of Islam, creation of nations and states, Muslims need to understand this idea of Islamic thought and concept of where we have emerged from, where the Western world has emerged from, and why there appears to be so much tension between these two parts of the world. And in the political arena at the moment, unfortunately, is the greatest tension. And this is being played out at the social level. The Muslim community as a whole is trying to bring the human being at the center of politics rather than say economics or consumerism, which is the West, which is where the West is driving, and in the West we are now included as well, because we are part and parcel of that society or that concept, rather than people. Thank you very much. I hope you have some questions.
So while this looks like such a better audience than we had at the have divided the Islamists into 6 categories here. Throughout history, is there any single line of association or cooperation between the 6 Islamist groups, or are they, separate groups and having feuds over themselves? Because I can say that there are, between the Islamist groups themselves, there are, feuds, and that, dampens their vision.
The word political Islam first is very new in Islamic history. I think Abdul was the earliest, which was less than 100 years ago, who coined the phrase within the Islamic world, or something concept of political Islam. So, it's something very new that emerged, and in a way, it is a reaction to the dominant Western world. The idea from the Western world has now come across to the Islamic arena, and the concept of political Islam has emerged. Most of those groups are new as well. If you look at the Takfiri in particular, the Takfiri existed from Uthman radiallahu anhu, so we go back really in history. But they have always been an isolationist group. They have been a group that has always worked against the mainstream Islamic body. And there have always been other groups that have emerged within the Muslim world, the Batinis and the Zalites and all the other groups. But they have never created enough force to change the political arena, if you like, of the Muslim Khilafah system. So what has emerged now, post the Khilafah system, is something very new. Of course, there might be some cooperation within some of them, but I don't think it is done with any vision or it's done with any agenda. It might be done at a very superficial level. And remember, these groups, we can't walk out of this room and divide this room into those 6 groups. It's not possible, because the Muslim community, as I mentioned earlier, is lost in this arena. In fiqh, we're lost, and we're lost in the political arena as well, because we don't know the vision of the ideals of what we could. But if you consciously sit down and think about it, then you feel that you have more affinity with one of these groups than the other. But I don't think there's definite membership of groups within that Muslim community. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any more questions? Okay.
I was just wondering, on the point that the Western Islamism actually gives a signal to the West on the return of God into politics. But for example, in USA, we have seen that the question of religion in politics is very much important. And even George Bush, even now Obama, for example, at least he would be saying God bless you. And also we have seen that in a secular country like England, although BNP is not that popular, but at the same time they are saying that we want to bring back the Christian values, and he explicitly say the Christian religion rather than just a cultural thing of Christianity. So do you think that right now there's also some kind of movement of